Hey, welcome into Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture. Today, we're counting down the top 40 songs from 1970. This is going to be a fun year and a fun group of songs to talk about. A lot of good stuff here. But let me introduce my panel. First of all, Heather L., how are you? What's up?
Doing great, Rob. Fighting a few internet tech gremlins, but other than that, having a great weekend and ready to talk about 1970.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, gosh, I hate those internet gremlins. And they get worse when the weather gets hot.
They
My
do.
goodness, here in Texas, 95 degrees today.
Yikes.
In
Ugh.
April. We did such
Ugh.
weather. Oh, and then we've got some great
Hey,
sound
that's
effects.
why I'm
Thank you,
having a
Tony.
problem. Who stole my dial-up modem? No wonder I'm having issues.
uh, your rotary phone didn't quite connect to the dial-up, did it?
Trying to dial
No,
fast, it doesn't
no,
work.
no.
And then we've got the Mississippi Queen here, Agent Pepsi One. How are you?
Hey, not quite 95 here, but we had like 82. But 95 is coming. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
doing great. I too have been having some internet issues, so please do bear with me. And of course, this time of year, my allergies are killing me.
Oh, tell me
But
about it. I'm right there with you. Oh,
Yes.
every- everything is greenish yellow outside, especially my truck in the morning. So
Yeah, that yellow pollen is the worst. Man, I'm so allergic to that whatever that yellow fuzzy stuff is. Ugh.
my sinuses are burning right now.
oh yeah. I had to take allergy medicine before I came on, and I took it this morning before church, and it's one of those things where you're just like, oh my gosh. I was at work this week, and we my office is in kind of a foresty area, so you've got all the pollen, all the trees, and then they don't necessarily clean the vents. So when the air conditioning or the heater comes on, I just start coughing and sneezing, and
Yes.
there's one point when I blew my nose and my ears popped. That's how bad it was. It was just crazy, and it was just all allergies. Thank goodness it wasn't something else. Um, And then my last panelist, but not the least one, Mr. Tony Stark. Which first off, let's congratulate him. He's got 1,500 subscribers.
Oh well, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Tony.
appreciate
Yes,
it.
on this channel,
Been
Smoke Iron.
busting my butt.
Woohoo.
It's the only good thing. The only good news that I have for today. As you can see, the reactor is still quite demolished, as the saying goes. Even though Lombardi says don't go insane and press the red button, I'm like, if I had a red button to press, you best believe I would be pushing it to turn the damn thing back on. But no, I'm happy to be here. We will have a new reactor, hopefully by next week, if not the week after. So if you guys are really adamant on doing something on Friday night, now's your week to do it. So
Wow, on Good Friday.
on Good Friday. And happy Palm Sunday for those that recognize. And,
Yeah,
so.
Palm Sunday
Yes,
was today.
absolutely.
Yep. Put the palms out. You know, the coolest thing was always what they did for the kids at various churches that I used to go to, where the kids would have the palm branches and lay it out. And sometimes they'd rent a donkey and do that thing. But the donkey always smelled incredibly bad. And why you want to bring a donkey into a church, I don't know. But
All donkeys
Uh,
smell bad.
yeah,
Oh,
God.
no.
yeah. Some say they smell like ASSS, but
Yeah.
but
Thing.
Hold on.
Come
I
on,
got it.
come on, Tony. You're slow.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
Pick it up.
My cheesy jokes. All right, so folks, here's how we're gonna do this. This is Billboard year end 1970. So basically, it's any song that was at the top of the charts for a long period of time during the year 1970. There were quite a few songs that did quite make the top 40 that were from 1969 that hit number one in 1970 for a month or two, and some that flew in and out. We'll talk about those, but basically, we're going to do 40 through 31. Then we're going to give you some music news from 1970 because that's always interesting stuff. And then we'll do our 29 to 20, our 30 to 21. and then we'll do more music news from 1970. Then we'll do 20 to 11, and then we'll go back and we'll tell you, hey, what didn't make the top 40? What do we like that didn't make the top 40? Which is really cool. And then we'll give you our top 10 to round it out. Sound like fun? Hope it is, guys.
Absolutely. And hail to all the chat out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking
Yeah,
about
hey.
Jedi Master. He's getting
Yeah.
into puppeteering with me, so I want to give
Oh,
him a
sweet.
special
That's
shout out.
cool. Yeah.
He's got a character on Snow Dub, so we'll definitely be expanding his entertainment palette by becoming a puppeteer. Hail to the great TR Starbrighter. We got the lovely Heather L. We got SP4H Spectre 17, Lombardi 1969. And many, many more. And Sigvalison, the archpriest of the Church of the Squid and Turd in the Fishbowl in the Castle in the Hollow Earth and the Hole in the Bottom of the Sea. Say that 3 times fast. It's a
3 times
pleasure to
fast.
see you as
That.
well. Yeah, you're funny. And the lovely Agent Pepsi one also pulling double duty.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please share the stream. If anybody who likes 70s music, I only wish we could play these songs for you guys, but YouTube gets a little bit cranky if you play more than a few seconds of them. And
They go
it's
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it's almost not worth it if you do a bunch back to back, and they kill you. But anyway, let me bring up our presentation because I did some work here. So fun! I can't believe I found this.
Very
cool.
nice.
Yeah, I like that.
It's
Kind of
groovy.
psychedelic background.
Yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
cool?
Yeah.
That on the
Little
web. Whoever made that is just awesome.
I like it. For like the hippie feeling, we got a few kind of hippie-ish sounding songs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's
oh yeah.
a lot of folk rock on here. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Especially if you go down to the top 100, there's a lot of folk.
Yeah, little
Yes, there
bit.
is.
Little bit.
But we
No way,
also
Matt.
we also bring the funk because there are a couple of funk
The
songs.
funk.
Yeah.
And we get 3, not necessarily all of these songs are in the top 100, but they were released in 1970. 3 of the greatest guitar riffs ever,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Hard rockin', heavy metal starts coming
We
out.
got, like I said, there's this joke whenever people are like, you remember when metal was good? You mean like the 70s? And then he goes, no, earlier, like the early 70s. There's a reason why that joke is often coined.
Yeah. So you had a lot going on because 1969 was the Flower Power year. You had Woodstock that year, and then 1970 comes
Ultraman
around.
too.
What?
I think you had Ultraman Speedway too.
Oh yeah.
1969. Oh my god. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It's crazy. And then you transition from like the Beatles and a lot of the pop sound to heavier rock, and this is kind of the birth of your classic rock. Your classic rock stations usually go back to 1968 to 1970, somewhere in there for starters, all the way through the 70s. So it's pretty cool. It's going to be fun. We're going to cover this entire decade, and we may do some months where we focus on a particular band. Some of the ones that I'm thinking of are one of our favorites. I know that everybody on the panel likes this group, Led Zeppelin, where we go through their entire catalog, and we may do a month where we do that. Heart may be another one that I know that we like, that we may go through. So we will see what we want to do through this, but this is going to be a fun decade. Can't wait to talk about these songs. Let's talk about 40 through 31. Here we go. All right, so we start with Edison Lighthouse, Love Grows. Love grows where my rosemary goes. That's almost become one of those memes that it's just it's you accidentally click on it and it keeps playing. So you got that song. The next one is Chairman of the Board with their big hit, Give Me Just a Little More Time. Then Kenny Rogers and First Edition with Something's Burning. Yes, Kenny Rogers crossed over from country into pop and back and forth. So we'll get a lot of him in the 70s. Rainy Night in Georgia by Brooke Benton. Do looking out my back door by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Probably my favorite one on this list.
Yeah. Yep. Patches by Clarence Carter. Instant Karma, We All Shine On by John Lennon. I'm Your Venus, I'm Your Fire, What's Your Desire? Venus by Shocking Blue, the original version. Now, we can talk about Bananarama's version. I think they're both good. This one has a really cool guitar solo, though. And then we've got Blues Image, Ride Captain Ride, their version of it. There's another version of it that comes out later. And then Stevie Wonder ends this 10 with Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours. All right, so who wants to tackle
Here
this?
I am, signed, stamped, delivered, I'm yours.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to tackle this
Right.
10 first?
Sucker for Motown. I can't help.
Yep.
Oh.
Pepsi, do you
All
want to go first?
Jump on it.
Sound like you
Yeah.
did.
I'll go first. I mean, there's some really great songs on these. I will say my favorite of these 10 would definitely have to be number 32, Blues Image, Ride Captain Ride. It is
Mhm.
such an amazing song. And also, I don't know if you know this, one of the first music videos that was done intentionally was done for this song right here.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube. And I thought it was some fan production, but no, it happens to be one of the first things that was officially licensed. And it was super well done. Then you have Venus, Shocking Blue.
Yeah.
That too
Hey,
is a great song.
by the way, real quick, Ride Captain Ride was also covered by Blood, Sweat, and Tears
Yep.
in 1975. So we may get to that again. But yeah, Ride Captain Ride is great. So go ahead with Venus.
Yeah, that you have Venus, and that is Shocking Blue, the band from the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, off that, I have that album where the Venus is from. There's another song in there called something about a railroad man. Don't Give Your Love to a Railroad Man, I think it's called, which is I think a much better song, but that never made the list anywhere. And of course, who doesn't like CCR, Looking Out Your Back Door?
Mm-hmm.
Or in this case, I'm sorry, looking out my back door, what will you see? You'll see a bunch of junk in my backyard. But other than that, Kenny Rogers before he went country. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, these are interesting. And you're right what you said about this is where classic rock starts.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that. I mean, 1970, maybe even back to like 68 or so. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, this is some great stuff. Stuff I really don't like is Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. I do not like that song.
Oh no!
Okay, here we go.
Oh,
Here we
come
go.
on.
And in the red corner, we have the great Agent Pepsi 1. It's going to be a stand-up fight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid that it's going to be a 3-on-1 handicap bout. They're going to have one
What
right
do you
now.
got against a blind man who plays
Classic.
piano? Come on, Pepsi.
Oh,
Classic
Yeah, okay, come on now. I
oh
mean,
my God. Not even 13, not even 15 minutes into the program, and Agent Pepsi 1's already got a hot take.
What can I say?
swear,
no.
I swear.
What can I say that the rest
Heavens
of
to
the panel has like
Betsy.
no taste? But that's okay. That is
Right.
okay.
Speak your piece, Agent Pepsi 1. Why don't you like that song?
I just this is just preference. It's one of those songs I don't. I mean, I have nothing against Stevie Wonder. It's just one of these songs I simply don't like and never have. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the one
Don't
on
like and
35.
never have.
It's like the one on it's like on 35 Patches. This is another one that and I have never heard of John Lennon, Instant Karma.
Oh, you don't know that one?
We
I
all
don't know
shine
that one at all.
We all
Oh,
shine on.
like the moon and the
We
stars.
all
and the
shine
snow.
out.
So,
Yeah, but I mean, Love Grows, that is a nice song.
mhm.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, it's Ride Captain Ride. It's amazing.
It's one
Yep.
that I could sing quite well. I might do that on a matinee later on down the road.
Maybe you should do it as Shatner.
Absolutely not. I don't lyricize
hey,
as Shatner. That's a DC bit.
That'll be a Friday night request, Rob, right? Shatner?
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
it
Now,
might
yeah,
been
have
last
DC do
Friday
that
if
one
you guys
now.
were
Now,
listening.
if
It
it's
was
one,
all
if it's one of
70s
my
stuff.
characters, I'll do it, but not Shatner. Shatner belongs to DC.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
Alf
I
could
mean,
be a captain of his own ship.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
If Darth Vader does it, that would be hilarious.
I
Oh
don't
my
have a James
God.
Earl
Mitchell
Jones
DC
voice.
can do
So.
that.
Or after Palpatine.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would be
Good,
amazing.
Anakin. Very
Right,
good.
Captain Ryan.
Yeah.
Upon your
Right, Captain Ryan, your mistress.
right, Captain Ryan. On your mystery.
No, in this case,
Good,
it's right, Vader,
Anakin.
right?
Yeah.
Very good.
All right, Tony,
Um,
what do you like of this 10?
Well, this is the part of the movie where, like I said, and now in the blue corner, representing not one, but two, but three other panelists, is none other than the great Mr. Stark, who is going to say that Stevie Wonder's Sign Stamp Delivered is an amazing song.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love Motown. I love everything about Motown. There's times on a matinee where I'll sing nothing but soul music for about half an hour. So, no. This is the part where we must agree to disagree, Agent Pepsi 1. Ride, Captain Ride is something that we can agree on, though. I love that song in particular. Obviously, what can be said about CCR that isn't said already? Rainy night in Georgia. And I do like the Bananarama version of Venus a little bit better, but that's like saying that I like apples over apple juice, right? So it's not by any kind of like wide margin that I would. I just like the sounds of synths. I like synthesizers. But this psychedelic versions are always got a special place in my heart. Yeah, good start to this list. Very good start to this list. Looking forward to the other 30.
All right, Heather. I understand you got the popular opinions about these songs.
Yeah,
so
well,
let's hear
no, well, I'm gonna say I love Venus, Shocking Blue. I love Bananaramas, but I love this one. I mean, they're both kind of different. This one has the cool guitar,
Right.
kind of psychedelic guitar. That opening riff is like, Pinball Wizard, which stands out a little bit more in
I
this
love
version.
Pinball Wizard. Oh my god.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I really like Instant Karma by John Lennon. The drummer is Alan White from Yes, and the drum beats and the fills in this song are, like, to me, the best part of the song. If you listen to how it's recorded, they just really pop. Super cool sounding. It was also produced by Phil Spector, and his production was a little bit controversial on the Beatles' Let It Be album, which is also came out the same year. So I think that's interesting. That I think he was probably more liked by John Lennon than Paul McCartney, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's a whole soap opera there. Love Looking Out My Back Door, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I think it's funny that people thought, the lyrics are so crazy. They thought it was a drug song, but apparently it was based on talking to his son about a Dr. Seuss book, which I thought was really cute. Creedence Clearwater Revival is not really a drug band, so
no.
people
No.
thought
They're
it was.
Christian folk rock.
Yeah, they were not into the drug scene, and
Right.
so people kind of interpreted it that as, it's like with the spoon, and that could be like really trippy with the stuff he was talking
Right,
about.
right.
But yeah, that was interesting. I love Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I love the heyday of Motown, the sound. Stevie Wonder was only 20 when he wrote this song, and it was already his 12th studio album, which, I mean, and the first album he produced. Stevie Wonder's super talented. Love his stuff. The other songs on here, like, don't do a whole lot for me. Like, Love Grows. I mean, that was kind of an odd, hippie sounding song. It's just not my cup of tea. The other stuff, like Something's Burning, is Rainy Night in Georgia, they're just kind of boring to me. Patches, boring. I mean, just
Air filling
Boring.
background songs.
Yeah, they're just boring. I'm sorry. They're
Yeah,
just
I mean,
boring.
yeah, I agree with that. Some of this is, but something that's interesting about Shocking Blue, their version of Venus. I mean, if you think about Bananarama, they were not really a band per se. They were basically three singers,
Right.
and they hired different musicians.
Yep.
So you never had that style. Where Shocking Blue was an actual band that was together I want to say from 1964 to like 75, 76 in their heyday. And then they performed into the
Right.
80s. So, I mean,
Yeah, they
you know,
were
and
an actual band.
yeah, I mean, these people could really play.
Hmm.
And I forget who their lead guitarist is, but that man is amazing. I mean, he's every bit of maybe, I'm not going to say he's like a Jimmy Page or Richie Blackmore, but he's certainly a very highly, in my opinion, a very highly ranked musician. So, I mean, he is a master of the guitar, which I think that's what really hurt the Bananarama version. And yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I could see in the '80s when Bananarama did Venus. I mean, that video looks really cool, but is it musically that good? I don't think it is.
so
But I mean, Heather, I agree with you with most of the things, and some stuff on here is just Rainy Night in Georgia. Like you said, it's not that spectacular. It's not that
Yeah.
exciting. It's not a good song, but it's not that exciting.
Yeah. Just kind of.
yep,
Yeah.
I agree. So here's my thoughts on it. I think Love Grows Where My Rosemary Grows. I was surprised it was 1970 because I thought that came out earlier in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
it
64.
sounds much more like a 60s song.
Hmm.
And I do like the strings and a little bit of the guitar on it. I think it's a good transition song as we talk about this because this is really a transition year, so it kind of fits. But it can get a little bit annoying because it was overplayed. I do like the chairman of the boards. Give me just a little more time. I just think it's a good song. Um, it can be overplayed too but those two songs I know really well. Something's Burning by Kenny Rogers, I don't know very well. I didn't think it was that great a song. You're right, it's filler. Rainy Night in Georgia's the same thing. Creedence Clearwater Revival, yeah, Looking Out My Back Door. Heather mentioned the Dr. Seuss book. It was And to Think That's What I Saw It on Mulberry Street, which is
Hmm.
the name of the book. And it's basically all these, like a parade going around, and that's what they're taking it from, his son's book. And I love Credence. I mean, just about every song that I've heard from Credence Clearwater Revival is amazing.
Yes.
Candle in the Window is one of the, as long as I can see the light, is one of the best songs I've ever heard from them. That's not as well known, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, Credence, I love. I mean, oh my goodness, that is a fantastic song.
We could dedicate an entire show to CCR.
Oh yeah, we could.
Oh,
Maybe that's a group we need to cover. Patches, that didn't do anything for me. I listened to it and it was interesting that it was about the guy's life, but it was kind of a melancholy song that just I don't know, it just didn't really belong. Instant Karma is actually one of John Lennon's solo songs that I really like. I don't like all of his solo stuff. I like some of it. I don't like a very popular song by him, but I like this one. It's interesting that he came out with this so fast, and technically it was Paul that broke up the Beatles, or Paul was the first person to leave, as we're going to find out. But John Lennon put out the Plastic Ono Band had already put out an album prior to the end of the Beatles, and then he puts this out. So I think the reality with the Beatles is all of them kind of felt like going their separate ways, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in our news segment. The Venus portion, you guys had mentioned it. You guys have talked a lot about it. I love the opening guitar riff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great guitar riff.
It's
I'm not
just
saying it's bad.
fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, an acoustic guitar played like that is just poetry to me. It's almost like Nancy Wilson in one of the Heart songs. I mean, that's what I love about Venus. I think that's the best part about it. Ride Captain Ride is great. I love that song. I think it's got a good message, and it's a good transition song from the hippie days into the 70s as well. Yeah. And then, Stevie Wonder. Oh my gosh, Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I mean, come on, Adrian.
Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours,
babe. I like it. I think it's a very upbeat song, a happy song. I think it's a song that honestly we need today in our culture because, gosh, that song is so upbeat and just fun. I like it. So
Yeah.
love the bass licks for the opening. The do 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 bow meow.
Yep.
Yeah. Watch your
right
act.
there.
Watcher X in the chat says you can tell John approved of Alan's drumming by his nod. I would say, man, who
Yeah.
couldn't who wouldn't approve of Alan's drumming? I just think the drums are so outstanding in that song. Look at the best part of it.
Oh yeah.
If you don't,
Oh
you
yeah.
might.
I mean,
Pepsi, I don't know. Pepsi doesn't like John Lennon, and you haven't heard that song, but you give it a listen, and there's no way you can not like the drums. They're so just outstanding. That's to me, it's the best part of that song.
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
I think it was one of the ones that was used in commercials too, right? So
yeah, I mean, a
yeah.
lot of the musicians, like I said, I mean, excellent musicians. But I look at the things like an overall viewpoint. And John Lennon.
Not a big
Yeah.
fan of John Lennon.
Yeah.
I
Not
agree
at
with
all.
you in some ways. I mean, I think he was brilliant and he had a lot of great things to say and a lot of interesting stuff that he wrote and played. I just don't think his solo career was as good as his Beatles stuff.
I have to disagree. I mean, wait, no, I'm not disagreeing at all. I think he was. I'm going to be a little blunt. I think he was completely overrated. He was not a Paul McCartney. He was, in many ways, he was not even the least known of the Beatles, Ringo Starr. I mean, he just did not.
That's definitely a hot take. I think Tony,
Yeah, that's a very hot
you
take.
need a sound. You need some kind of sound for that one. I don't know what
Yeah,
what
but I
Yeah.
mean, it's
get an alarm.
like I said. I mean, this is just preference. I'm just speaking from preference. And I mean, other people, love his music, and that's okay. Um, it's just it didn't do it for me. It's like the Beatles. Most of the Beatles music is not my thing.
Oh, ooh,
Although,
now we
although,
know
al-
where she gets it.
yeah, but also I really, I like, me. I love '60s music, but the
Mhm.
Beatles is just, it's just not my thing. I mean, I like their, well, I guess it was an album back then and not a CD. But when they did like Sergeant Pepper's,
Mm.
Mhm.
yeah, that for me it's just an amazing Beatles album. That's the kind of music I think about when I think about the Beatles. Yellow Submarine, for example, that came before it. It just didn't. I have it. It just didn't do it.
Oh
And
my
they're really,
goodness.
and they're really
Agent
early
Pepsi, go
stuff.
listen to Revolver and Rubber Soul.
Yeah,
Please.
Rubber
Rubber
Soul is
Soul and
fantastic.
Revolver are
Yeah,
both great. Rubber Soul is probably my favorite album.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, come
I
on.
don't have. I have Revolver, but I don't have Rubber Soul.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, that's the
go
Oh, you're
listen
gonna
to
have
Rubber
to
Soul.
listen to it.
Go listen to Rubber Soul. Rubber Soul is one of my Heather. Is that your favorite Beatles album too?
Yeah,
or-
for sure.
Yeah, Rubber Soul and Revolver, they rotate. Those are my two favorite.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I mean, you would admit to. I'm sure you would admit that they're completely different in many ways than Sergeant Pepper's.
oh yeah, well
Yeah.
Sgt. Pepper was a concept album.
Yeah, I mean,
Sgt. Pepper's good. It has some good songs on it. I think it's a little bit overrated, but you know, but I mean it's got some good songs on it. I mean, we're getting into the Beatles coming up because they've got a couple of songs on here. One of them should have been in the top 40, and that's definitely gonna be a song that we mention.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not in the top 40. I saw that and I'm like, what? on
Yeah,
earth?
that was it was interesting that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Also, folks, one of the things that we may mention, a lot of these songs have been used in pop culture, like movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much in this set of 10. I know Looking Out My Back Door has been used. Instant Karma's been used. Silent City Delivered has been used. But there's some that have been really used quite a bit. And
Heck, I remember whenever the California Raisins covered Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Love
forgot
the
about
California
that.
Raisins.
The raisins.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Yes.
Another reason
Yeah.
why I like Motown so much, I was introduced to Motown through the California Raisins.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
That's funny. But all right, let's get into our next little segment as we segue along here. We're going to give you some music news in between top 10 so that you guys have a little bit of variety. And we're going to talk about the music news of 1970. We got a lot of stuff happening this year. A lot of interesting people, events, and unfortunately deaths. So this is an interesting year for music. And Heather's going to kick us off talking about January all the way through March. And then I'm going to pick it up in April and I'm going to go through June. So, Heather, what have we got in January through March?
All right, here we go. January 3rd, ex Pink Floyd frontman Sid Barrett releases his first solo album, The Madcap Laughs.
Fitting, fitting.
Yeah, and I'm not into his. I mean, I love Pink Floyd, but I'm not into his. After he left his solo stuff. January 4th, Who drummer Keith Moon fatally runs over his chauffeur with his Bentley, trying to escape a mob outside a pub. The death is later ruled an accident. Yeah, Keith was always a little bit, partook a little bit. January 7th, Max Yasgur, owner of the Bethel, New York farm where the 1969 Woodstock Festival was held, is sued for $35,000 in property damages by neighboring farmers. January 9th, Led Zeppelin performs at the Royal Albert Hall. John Bonham plays a 15-minute rendition of Moby Dick. Jeez.
Awesome.
Yeah. January 14th, Diana Ross and the Supremes perform The Last Time Together at the Frontier Hotel in Vegas. Pretty cool.
Mhm.
January 16th, John Lennon's London Art Gallery exhibit of lithographs, Bag 1, is shut down by Scotland Yard for displaying erotic lithographs, which is,
Big surprise there.
January 24th, James Shep Shepard of the Heartbeats and Shep and the Limelights is found murdered in his car on the Long Island Expressway. January 26th, Simon and Garfunkel release their final album together, Bridge Over Troubled Water. The title track and album stay #1 on the Billboard charts for 6 weeks and go on to win a record 6 Grammys at the 13th Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Album of the Year. In Britain, it tops the album chart at regular intervals over the next 2 years and becomes the best-selling album in Britain during the 1970s.
Wow.
Yeah, big one. January 27th, Miles Davis makes the final recordings for his experimental album Circle in the Round, featuring sitar and tabla. January 28th, the newly formed band of gypsies breaks up when guitarist Jimi Hendrix walks out after playing just 2 songs, telling the audience, "I'm sorry, we just can't get it together." February 11th, the film The Magic Christian, starring Peter Sellers and Ringo Starr, is premiered in New York City. The film's soundtrack album, including Badfinger's Come and Get It, written and produced by Paul McCartney, is released on Apple Records. February 13th, English band Black Sabbath released their self-titled debut album in the UK, credited as the first major album in the heavy metal genre. Yay!
Yes. Yes.
Yeah! February 14th, The Who record their live album live at Leeds in Yorkshire, England. The Grateful Dead plays an equally historic concert on the same date at the Fillmore East in New York City. February 17th, Joni Mitchell announces that she is retiring from live performances following her show at London's Royal Albert Hall. She would be back performing concerts within a year. Oh, the famous retirement tours, then
Yes.
like one after another. February 23rd, Ringo Starr appears on the television show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. February 27th, Jefferson Airplane is fined $1,000 for using profanity during a concert in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Oh, those were the days when the F-bomb wasn't like every other word.
Yes.
February 28th, Elvis Presley performed at the Houston Astrodome. The King of Rock and Roll broke previous attendance records with a crowd of 36,299, which was 10,000 more than the previous record. February 28th, Led Zeppelin performed in Copenhagen under the pseudonym The Knobs to avoid a threatened lawsuit by Count Eva von Zeppelin, descendant of the airship designer Ferdinand von Zeppelin. That's pretty funny.
Wow. That's cool. That's hilarious.
That's really funny. March 4th, Janis Joplin is fined $200 for using obscene language during a concert performance in Tampa, Florida. March 6th, cult leader and suspected murderer Charles Manson releases an album titled Lie, The Love and Terror Cult to help finance his defense. March 7th, Mountain, one of the many bands credited as having influence in the development of heavy metal music, releases Climbing, their debut album, which is frickin' awesome. March 11th, the 12th annual Grammy Awards are presented in Chicago, Los Angeles, Nashville, New York, and Atlanta. Blood, Sweat, and Tears' self-titled album wins Album of the Year. The Fifth Dimension's Aquarius, Let the Sunshine In, yeah, hippie song, wins Record of the Year, and Joe South's Games People Play wins Song of the Year. Crosby, Stills, and Nash wins Best New Artist. March 15th, West German Pavilion at Expo 70 in Osaka features 5.5 hours daily live performances of the music of Karl-Heinz Stockhausen. March 19th, David Bowie marries model Angela Barnett. March 21st, in Amsterdam, Dana wins the 15th annual Eurovision Song Contest for Ireland with the song All Kinds of Everything, music and lyrics by Derry Lindsay and Jackie Smith. She's elected to the European Parliament some 29 years later. Oh,
Oh, wow.
okay. Interesting.
Wow.
March 25th, Jose gives a masterful performance of the song El Triste at the Latin Song Festival, predecessor of the OTI Festival. Okay. March 26th, Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary pleads guilty to taking immoral liberties with a 14-year-old girl in Washington, D.C. on August 31st, 1969. Great
Yeah.
big yuck. Ugh.
Disgusting. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Any comments about that before we get into the rest of
Yeah.
April through June?
I have something to say about that. If you go back to January 26th, where you had the Supreme's final performance,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the 26th. But when the Supreme's final performance, what they don't tell you is that ended up in a fight between the band members. And there was lots of, let's just say, lots of bad vibes afterwards.
Oh, yeah. They didn't get back together for another, 20 years?
Yeah, I mean, my understanding, there was like hair pulling and weave on the floor.
Oh no.
Oh,
Just
no.
like
Really?
just like a bunch of high school girls.
Oh my God. Cat fight. Cat fight.
Exactly.
Oh, my
So,
gosh.
Wow. That's funny.
yeah,
Wow.
and interestingly enough, and yeah, so just was it on January 14th? I'm sorry. So that's just something
Yeah.
that came to mind.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Oh, my gosh. I'm looking this up right now to give more. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that. In fact, that was on Professor of Rock that I saw that.
Yeah.
So when he did, this is maybe a year ago. It was one of his things. So that's
All right.
when it ended there. Why it happened, who knows? But
Yeah.
Just sick of each other, I guess.
yeah, I mean, after all this time, I mean, they had a good run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did. I mean,
Yeah,
they've been together since the
absolutely.
late 50s. So, yeah. All right. You guys ready for me to go through April through June?
Yep.
All right. April 2nd. The London Magistrate Court hears arguments on John Lennon's indecency summons for his exhibit of erotic lithographs during the art exhibit of January 16th. So we follow up on that. Wow. April 3rd, Minneapolis. Nightclub The Depot opens, eventually renamed First Avenue. April 10th, Paul McCartney publicly announces that he's left the Beatles in a press release written in mock interview style that is included in promotional copies of his first solo album and headlined in the Daily Mirror newspaper in the United Kingdom. So was it really Paul McCartney or was it Billy Shears? Who knows? That's a joke. It was Paul McCartney. There's a lot of Paul is dead, Billy Shears type stuff. Wow, everybody just leaves when I talk. April 14th, Michael Naismith announces that he's left the Monkees. You guys know why he left the Monkees? You know what happened?
Yeah, that I don't. What happened there?
Apparently his mom discovered liquid paper.
Okay.
Yeah, and they became very, very, very rich from that.
With
So
liquid paper?
yeah, so before computers and stuff used to have to use whiteout to fix
Yeah.
things on type stuff. So basically, I think his mom or a relative invented whiteout, and that's where
Ah.
he made all his money. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So that's part of the reason why Michael Naismith left. Yeah. So interesting, huh? All right, April
I
17th, Johnny Cash. Go ahead.
Oh,
no,
go ahead.
I was just
Yeah.
saying that's mind blowing there. I had
Yeah.
I thought whiteout, was probably from like the 1930s maybe.
What?
No.
Oh my
Gosh.
God.
Pepsi. It's not that old.
Pepsi!
Come on, Pepsi. We had to use it on
Oh my
some of our
God.
papers.
Oh my
We had to
God.
use
We
whiteout, right? Right?
I
Pepsi was
go
whiteout.
to the facilities and I lose an Agent Pepsi one bad take. Story of my life.
Well, we were telling her how Michael Naismith's relative discovered whiteout or invented whiteout. And basically that's part of the reason he got rich off of that, and that's part of the reason why he left the Monkees. And
She's like, oh,
Agent
this
Pepsi
is
One
something in
says,
the
"Oh, I thought it was invented
1930s.
in the 1930s," and Heather and I
Yeah,
are
I
like,
mean,
"What?"
yeah, I
No.
mean, I thought
We
that
use
came around
that.
with like typewriters. And I mean, okay,
I think
typewriters been around
people
since like the 1890s.
no, but like before it was invented, people had to be super accurate, or
Yeah.
they had the things you used to stick in there right in the typewriter and like reverse and type over it again with like a whiter
Yeah.
color where you could correct. It was hard to correct. Oh my God, but we lived with whiteout like, until you had a computer, like whiteout was your friend in school. It's
Yeah.
the only thing you could
Okay.
do to correct, right? There
Yeah.
was no backward deleting.
My mom had this giant IBM typewriter, Selectronic, something like that. It weighed like 100 pounds. You know what I'm talking about? This giant
Yes.
thing, tuck, 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 tuck. Has like this rotating ball thing with like letters on it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was fascinating.
Hmm.
I wish
Yeah.
I had the thing today.
Now,
It's so
the
funny.
stupidest thing that people did with liquid paper or whiteout was sniff it.
Really? I don't
Yes.
remember that. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, you had people that sniffed it. I don't know why. They also did that with glue, but
I've heard of
people do
glue, but whiteout? Holy
Why
crap.
not?
Rob, would you like to confess to some of these
No,
activities?
I did not do any of those things. Sorry, I'm a good little boy.
Okay.
No, not my
We are,
thing. But I knew of people that claimed to do it, and it was just like, what? Why? No.
Jeez.
yeah,
Anyway,
note
I
that
always thought
Tony
it
is
smelled
silent.
bad. I was like, what? Why would you want that thing anywhere near your nose? But anyway, all right, I digress. That's a good tangent. Let's get back to April 17th. Johnny Cash performs at the White House at the invitation of Richard Nixon. And then April 20th, Paul McCartney's first solo album, McCartney, is released. April 20th, Grace Slick of Jefferson Airplane is invited to a tea party at the White House by Tricia Nixon, daughter of U.S. President Richard Nixon. Slick arrives at the party with Abby Hoffman, who was on trial for conspiring to riot at the 1968 Democrat National Convention. The pair planned to spike Nixon's teacup with a heavy dose of LSD.
Oh my
Slick is
God.
recognized, although Hoffman is not, and they are told to leave because she's on the FBI's list.
Wow.
Wow. I just imagine that. That's interesting.
Oh my God. People have always been crazy. I thought it was just today.
Nixon gets
Yes.
a bad name for a lot of things.
Well,
but-
we aren't going to go into politics on this
Yeah.
channel, but yeah, he does. There's some things that he did were good. There's some
But-
things that he did were
There was
bad.
that time that Richard Nixon got his 83rd term in the 30,000s.
How crazy do you have to be though to try to like slip LSD to like
President's tea. I mean, come
I
on.
mean, come
Hey,
on.
Now my
you know-
vice president is the headless body of Agnew. Shut up.
Yeah, but the last administration, they found all this cocaine at the White House.
Yeah, let's not get into
Hey,
politics.
since we mentioned Jefferson and Airplane, not quite Starship, Tony, could you just sing a few lines of "We Built This City"? It's SP4H's
Yes, please.
favorite song.
It's my favorite song
It's
too. Please sing it,
SP4H's
please,
favorite
please.
song. Just a
So
little
you
bit.
want "We Built the City," right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do a cover as long as it's not too.
Just a few
Just
lines.
a few bars. Just this chorus, a couple lines of
yeah.
the chorus.
Say you don't know me, recognize my face.
Oh, God,
Say you
yes.
don't
Oh,
care
no,
who
no.
goes to that kind of place. Knee deep in the hoopla, seeking in your fight. Too many runaways heating up the night. Marconi plays the mamba. Listen on the radio. Don't you remember? We built this city
Yay!
on rock
Rock
and
and
roll. There you go.
Okay.
Right,
We
there we
scared
go.
them all now.
Amazing. Amazing.
Wow.
Tony,
Wow.
I
All
love
right.
you.
Sorry.
We
Sorry.
can't get away
SP4H.
from the 80s on this channel, folks. We can't.
Sorry.
That was
SP4H.
amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. That's the reason why I like to sing these songs on the matinee on Thursdays now. That's
Yes,
right.
folks. That's why you
We
subscribe to
don't
Talk
wait for
Song of
DC
Iron.
to be done anymore. We do that on Thursday now at prime time in normal human hours.
Yep. So
All
anyway,
right.
let's
Thursday.
continue on our we're still in April, folks.
I know. We're almost there.
So well, we finished April. Okay, May 4th, Charles, I'm gonna butcher this name.
Sig Volleson was very
Warren.
upset.
Urinen at 32 becomes the youngest composer ever to win the Pulitzer Prize for music. Kind of cool. The Beatles' last LP on May 8th is released, Let It Be, which actually was recorded before Abbey Road and then I think released afterwards. So if I'm not mistaken. So May 16th has a couple of things. Randy Bachman leaves the Guess Who to start Brave Belt. And we know Randy Bachman would eventually start what group?
I'm lost.
Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of it.
Overdrive. Yeah.
ETO. Come on, people. We
See,
need to
this is
take care of
this is the
business.
part where I
Come
play
on.
this.
All right. Then also on May 16th, The Who released Live at Leeds, which is their first live album since its initial reception. Live at Leeds has been cited by several music critics as the best live rock recording of all time. And The Who claimed that it was the biggest influence on heavy metal, not Led Zeppelin, which is another debate for another time. I would respectfully disagree, but who knows? Pete Townsend's kind of crazy anyway. But
Yeah.
That's giant ego thinking they influenced everything.
oh, tell me about it. That's The Who in a nutshell, or at least Pete Townsend.
Yeah.
All right. His love never opened the door, so I don't think that it really did. So, all right. So we're at May 20th. The Beatles film Let It Be premieres in London and Liverpool. None of the four band members are present at either screening. However, I think the revision that was done in the last couple of years is actually the only thing worth watching on Disney Plus because it was actually halfway decent. May 23rd through 24th, the Grateful Dead make their first British appearance at Hollywood Festival, Newcastle under the Lime, on a bill also featuring Black Sabbath,
Yay!
Free, Jose Feliciano. Everything is completely upstaged by the previously unknown Mungo Jerry, whose debut single In the Summertime becomes the best-selling hit of the year, which we may mention that song later.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
And then June, Australian composer Peter, I'm going to butcher this name, Suckthrope, try saying that 3 times fast, received the MBE in the Queen's birthday honors. June 3rd, the Kinks singer Ray Davis makes a 6,000-mile round trip from New York to London and back, interrupting the band's America tour to be re-recorded One World on their latest single, Lola. In order to get any airplay in Great Britain, he has to change the word Coca-Cola to a more subtle cherry cola. So, yes, Lola, it was supposed to be Coca-Cola, and they had to change it to cherry cola, and he had to re-record that
Good
in
grief.
Lola Tour. And let's see, June 7th, The Who plays 2 shows of Tommy at the Met in New York. June 13th, The Long and Winding Road, which should be a top 40 song, became the Beatles'
Agreed.
last one U.S. song, though it's never released as a single in Britain, which is a shame because it's a great song. And then finally, the Stooges play at the Cincinnati Pop Festival, Midsummer Rock. So anyway, that's our year in music from January to June. Stay tuned because we'll have another segment where we'll go from July to December. So let's get back to our countdown. Anything else about those before we do? I guess not. All right, let's move on.
I just wanted to say something, but no, but
Go.
not. But
Go ahead. Come on.
All right,
You're
I'm getting the
controversial
fight
in your
bell. I'm
takes,
getting the
Edge
fight
51.
bell.
no. No, this is benign, sort of, maybe, kinda. But the Who certainly had their place, and they had, and I don't think anybody on the panel or in the audience, would doubt that they influenced a lot of people and a lot of bands.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I think they were just as driven by their ego as Pink Floyd, for example.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that a little bit. I mean, they got along better than Pink Floyd did at the end, but I just think that the problem I think is that I don't know that they was as controversial when they were going through it, but I think looking back, Pete Townsend goes back and credits the Who for a lot of things that I don't know that the Who deserve credit for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but exactly. I mean, but like Pink Floyd. I mean, there are people that say, "Oh, Pink Floyd." Enough said. Well, no, that's not true. They're not that all-encompassing musically. I think some of their stuff is kind of interesting, but they were not, say, not that they're a bad band in any way. They're superb musicians. They did a lot of nice stuff, but there's some other bands that are equally nice and equally good, and they don't get nowhere near the recognition.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there, but there's a lot I like about Pink Floyd, especially David Gilmour. But I think that's another debate for later on.
Yeah, we could debate that. We could debate that all night.
Yeah, because I mean, Pink Floyd doesn't have any hits on this. They're still a baby, and their band is, because Dark Side of the Moon didn't come out for another couple of years here.
Which is my favorite Pink Floyd album.
It's a great album. Oh, it's wonderful. But
the whole thing is amazing.
Yeah. I will tell you that I think The Wall is a little bit overrated, but that's another discussion for another time. But okay, all right, let's get into this next top 10. And hey, guys, you guys remember that movie Big Trouble in Little China?
Oh yeah.
No,
okay. Hold on. I got an answer for that. 1 second here. Just let me go ahead and pull this up right quick. Did somebody say Big Trouble in Little China, Mr. Jack Burton?
Oh yes. Hey, Lopan. You know what Lopan's favorite rock song is?
It depends. Why don't you tell us?
Oh, what's our number 30 hit? Green-eyed lady, lovely
Green-eyed lady, love it. I love it.
Sorry, I had to throw that bad joke at you guys, but
it was a wonderful joke. I was so glad to assist.
So I just thought of that movie when I thought of
but
Green.
None of this happens just for you to get it, Mr. Jack Burton.
Anyway, so Sugarloaf releases Green-Eyed Lady, and I thought of that movie. So Bobby Sherman with Julie, Do You Love Me? The Jackson 5 with I Want You Back, which featured in Guardians of the Galaxy. Pretty funny scene there. Free releases All Right Now, which is all right now, baby. It's all right. The Poppy Family, Which Way You Going, Billy? The Moments, Love on a Two-Way Street. very Motown, very soulful. The Temptations, Ball of Confusion.
Yep.
Melanie, Lay Down Candles in the Rain. Norman Greenbaum with a guitar riff that he, for the love of his life, has had a hard time repeating since he recorded it with Spirit in the Sky, which has been featured in several movies. Great song. And then finally, also featured in Guardians of the Galaxy, the 5-star steps with "Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter."
Now break it down now, huh? Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
All right. All right. All right, Tony, what do you think about this?
Distraction, you little turd
10?
blossom. Let's
Holy
see here.
shit.
What can be said about this list? I love anything involving Motown, especially with the Temptations here. This one stands out as my Motown hit, my Motown pick for this particular 10. But yeah, Ooh, Child, Spirit in the Sky. I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. Green Eyed Lady was a good joke. I'm glad I was able to pick up on that. It's like, oh, I have just that thing. But yeah, a lot of good songs here. It's hard to pick a favorite. I would say of the Motown selections, Ball of Confusion. That's what the world is today. And of course, if you want that folk rock and that sound, I got to go with Spirit in the Sky. I know it's been played to death in a lot of movies, but yeah, these are all really good songs, though. So.
Thanks, Tony. Who wants to go next, Heather or Agent Pepsi One?
Sure, I'll go.
Okay.
I think All Right Now is the best one for me on here. It absolutely rocks. These guys were all teenagers when they did this, which I think is cool. Paul Rogers just has such an awesome voice. He can do the smooth vocal, and then he has that gritty rock voice. He's got killer guitar solo, and then the bass breakdown in that sort of bridge section. I mean, this whole band just sounds great. I think the story behind this song was funny. The drummer, I think it was said that like they finished a show and they walked off stage and it's like totally quiet. That the applause died before they even like started walking off the stage. And so they were like, oh, we really need a rocker to close our shows. And they kind of just inspiration struck and they wrote this song like right there in the dressing room afterwards. It took like 10 minutes, but the great song. Just love that one, even if it has been played quite a bit. I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, I think is good. It was their first like national single and great Motown sound. Michael Jackson was only like 10 or 11. It's sad he was so talented and I think kind of got used for that. But yeah, the performances they had on like the Ed Sullivan Show, they just kind of exploded after that. Really love that. Spirit in the Sky, but that fuzzy guitar riff is great. It always makes me think of Apollo 13 when he's spinning the tape recorder in the 0G. That's my favorite use of that song. The rest of them, the rest of these, Lay Down, Melanie. I mean, hippie music. Temptations, it's okay.
They did not write all of these songs just for you to enjoy them, Heather.
Oh, green-eyed. Well, I didn't enjoy them, so you know. Green-eyed lady, good grief! I mean that the lyrics are just painful to that freaking song. It's like comedy or TV show theme music. I think it's bad. I'm not there. Julie, do you? I mean, ugh. Which way you going, Billy? Ugh. So like that chick, she's crying over Billy. He's whining over Julie. Like, get together, stop singing.
Over it.
Yeah, I was like,
Indeed.
Love on a two-way street.
Okay.
Yeah, painful. The rest of the list was painful. I'm sorry. I had 3 good ones, and then I'm out.
Saucer wants to know.
Oh wow! So we got Heather attacking this set of 10. Agent Pepsi 1, your turn.
I will have to say of these are not my favorites on the list. Let me put this up front. These are not my favorites on the list, and the one I really like on this segment would be Free All Right Now. They had Free, I think, is a very much underrated band because they could really rock. These people, yeah, I mean they really did things. Then of course you have Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky, and I agree with Heather. I saw that movie Apollo 13
Mm-hmm.
where they had that spinning tape recorder in zero
Yeah.
G.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, that was actually filmed in zero G because they were in the Vomit Comet where they did some of those scenes. So
Nice.
that was zero G. Um, yeah, but some of the others I don't even know. I mean, who is this Melanie? The song doesn't ring any bells. Ball of Confusion I've heard. I'm not a big Temptations fan, but they had I can deal with them. They're love only two-way street. Love is always a two-way street, but the Poppy family, are you kidding me? Which way are you going, Billy? Yeah, okay. It reminds me of like a former boyfriend years and years ago in high school. I cried over him too. And that lasted like, about an hour. And then I said, enough of this shit. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. But that's the way it went. The
Oh
Jackson
God.
5, I mean, I- you know, yeah, does not do it for me. But, I have to disagree with Heather on Green Eyed Lady. It is not so much the lyrics of that, it's the music. And if you think about it, Sugarloaf was one of those bands like the Guess Who. They wrote very similar music to that era. And I want to say it was called the California Sound, I believe.
The bass line is super cool in the song. I
Yes.
love
Yeah.
that. It's got a great
Yeah.
bass line. It was just the lyrics that was killing me.
Yeah, I mean the lyrics are unlike the Guess Who actually put work into the lyrics. I agree with that. I mean that is but yeah, but I do like that song because of the music. Not so much the lyrics. I mean, you could tune out the lyrics and just hear
Yeah.
the vocals, but tune out what they exactly say. And I mean, it's a beautiful song. Bobby Sherman. I don't even. It doesn't ring a bell at all.
You're
Mm-hmm.
lucky. You're lucky. It doesn't. You didn't listen to it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I have with these. I mean, it's. I guess if you're into, very much into Motown, for example, I think the Temptations are much better than the Jackson 5.
I would agree.
Yeah, it's certainly more polished in my view.
That
Mm-hmm.
particular song, though, just didn't
Yeah.
get me.
All
Yeah, I
right,
mean,
my take. Yeah. Do you have any other takes, Agent Pepsi One? Are we ready to hear?
yeah. I was just gonna say. I mean, this is not like I heard it on the grapevine,
Right.
Mhm.
which I think was stand out, superb.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a weaker Temptation song for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's nowhere
So
near some of the best that Temptations has ever put out.
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Ain't
So-
Too Proud to Beg is a far cry from that. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I think this set of 10 is the weakest on the top 40,
Agreed.
and I would say that probably some of these probably deserve to be ditched for some of the ones from 40 to 100 for sure.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
I agree with you guys on Green Eyed Lady. I love the music to it, the dun, 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 the bass line and all the rest. I agree with Heather L. The lyrics just aren't that great, and it was overplayed. But Julie, Do You Love Me is a throwaway song. I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. I think that's one of their better songs. All Right Now by Free is probably the best out of this 10. It's just a rocking great song. Which Way You Going, Billy is a throwaway song. I didn't like that. I will disagree with you guys on Love on a Two-Way Street. I thought that song was actually a decent song by the Moments. It's a Motown, and you find love on a two-way street, and you lost it on an open highway. So it's a two-way street. Both people, you have to have love going both back and forth, and then on a lonely highway. So I think that song is a hidden gem that you should try and listen to. Just let me know what you think. If you like Motown, I think it's a decent song. Ball of Confusion is okay, but it's not the Temptations' best. Lay Down Candles in the Rain by Melanie. I had never heard of this song. I listened to it and I wasn't impressed with it, especially the 6 or 7 minute version that kind of dragged. I mean, Heather, I don't know. You listened to it, it almost felt like a dirge. I just was like, what am I listening to? I had to turn it off. Spirit in the Sky, guys, that opening to that song is just so iconic. Probably one of the best guitar riffs of all time. It's certainly up there. I love that. And, I've heard that Norman Greenbaum has never really been able to properly repeat it just because it was so unique. And then, Ooh Child is a good song, good Motown song, a good one. But honestly, there are a lot of stinkers in this 10 that I don't even think belong in the top 40 here. But I think we covered them all. I mean, it's just I thought Ooh Child really was good placement for Guardians of the Galaxy, and so was I Want You Back as well. Both of them had real pop culture significance, but really, Free all right now is probably the best song on this set of 10 in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. Anything else we want to say about this 10 before we go back to the music news? All right. Let's go July through December 1970. Stark, you want to kick us off with July?
Are we going to be doing July? Well, one moment, please.
July through September.
July through September, the news of the year 1970, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get right to it, shall we? Starting where we are going to. On the year of 1970, the year of our Lord, July 4th, the music countdown shown in the American Top 40 debuts. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
The Top 40 billboards have become televised. Isn't that something?
Yes.
We have on the July 17th the Guess Who perform at the White House for President Nixon and his guest, the Prince of Wales, now Charles III. At Pat Nixon's request, they do not play their breakthrough hit American Woman due to the song's supposed anti-American lyrics. Shocker. On July 26th, guitarist Jimi Hendrix plays his hometown of Seattle at Six Stadium, where, under the influence of those lovely little things we call drums, he starts to verbally abusing the members of the audience, much to their absolute chagrin. But who's counting? I certainly know I'm not counting. We all have a little party favor in us. On the August of the 3rd, Janis Joplin makes her final television appearance in the Dick Cavett Show. Yes, and that's not going to be the only Janis Joplin news. I do absolutely feel sorry for those who will be recovering that one. On August 26th through the 30th, the Isle of Wight Festival in 1970 takes place in the East Hampton Farm off the coast of England. Some 600,000 people attend the largest rock festival of all time. Artists include the Moody Blues, Jimi Hendrix, The Who, The Doors, Chicago, Leonard Cohen, Miles Davis, Richie Evans, John Sebastian, John Baez, 10 years after Emerson, Lake Palmer, and Jethro Tull. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Say that 3 times fast. I bet you.
Wow. Hey, can we hold it right there? My goodness, what a concert.
Right.
What do you guys think? I mean,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That would-
absolutely.
That would have been phenomenal to be there.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't build a temporal displacement device, unfortunately, I doubt you can attend.
Yes, definitely.
Right unfortunate. Let's just go ahead and continue. On the August 30th, the Rolling Stones upon their European tour in Malmö, Sweden. Lovely, lovely. Love the Stones. On September 6th, during his final European tour, guitarist Jimi Hendrix is greeted by booing and jeering by German fans as a result of his late appearance on stage and incoherent stage performance. Bassist Billy Cox quits the tour and returns to the United States. And on September 16th, Jimi Hendrix makes his last appearance with Eric Burdon on War, jamming at Ronnie Scott's Club in London. September 18th, an unfortunate day in the history of modern rock and roll, including guitar porn metalists such as the following, like Yngwie Malmsteen, Dimebag Darrell, and many, many more. The great inspiration behind modern jamming, James Edward Hendrix, aged 27, dies from a barbiturate overdose in his London hotel. He will be missed, and is still missed to this day.
Yep. Any comments about these stories from Go ahead.
I have a comment. That September 6th show was actually a turning point for concerts in Germany. I understand. Prior because he was not only booed by fans, they also threw like bottles on the stage. So he kind of dodged all of that.
Oh wow.
Was
So
he just he was super like out of it, like on drugs and drunk?
yeah,
And
he was. There's a video on YouTube, a video that was shot of this concert.
I hope you don't mind that Alistair had to break in and act as
Oh,
the
no,
radio
that's fine.
news
That's fine.
jockey. You know, any opportunity that he gets to be on the radio, he takes it. So
Yeah.
And also the death of Jimi Hendrix.
Mhm.
He took a German sleeping pill that you had to cut in like half.
barbiturates.
Yeah, he took the whole thing.
Oh
But
god.
he was like high on heroin and other drugs when he took it.
yeah,
So
I mean-
he basically suffocated and drowned in his own vomit.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
That's
Such
what
details.
killed Jimi Hendrix.
That's what killed him.
yeah. This era, man, people were really into a lot of substances.
Oh, yeah.
Something
Well, there's a reason why everything was so psychedelic, because everybody was literally watching everything in cartoon vision.
Yeah.
LSD, acid. Acid was starting to get popular.
Well, it was rumored that Jimi Hendrix used to dip his headband in acid. But
Yep, and he would sweat it in.
yeah.
Wow. I think it's interesting that the
It's so
American Top 40 Music Countdown started this year. I mean, that's because that's been, oh God, I remember that all growing up and all through
Me
life,
too.
like American
Casey
Top
Kasem.
40. And I never realized that it started in this year because it always existed, right? When I was listening to it, it wasn't like it's, or
Much
not
like
where it's
Queen
spinning.
Elizabeth II being the veritable Queen of England for the bulk of our existences, and we automatically think of her. It's just if it's been for so long that this is something that's always been around.
Right. Such
We
an
never
iconic.
we never really question, well, when did this start, or
Right.
we're completely shocked when it ends.
And it kind of made sense too, because that's when we started getting more focus on single songs in the radio. I mean, there's a lot of pop music singles become a really big thing with that show.
Yeah. Yep. Basically, they leaned heavily on Billboard. So
Yeah, great. I like that.
so interesting stuff. I didn't realize it started in 1970 either, but gosh, it
started
so
in
interesting.
1970. Yeah.
I mean, gosh, wow, crazy. But I mean, wow. And then I still can't get over that Isle of Wight festival in 1970. Wow. I mean,
Yeah, great concert.
good grief. And then go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that one you get on YouTube as well.
Oh
that
man,
whole concert's on YouTube.
Folks, go check that out after this stream sometime. I mean, my goodness, that's got to be an amazing show. I mean,
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I think that's where I downloaded it from YouTube.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I know what I'm putting in as
But
what I'm putting in as background radio when I go to bed tonight.
Yeah, that's got to be awesome. And then you start having the curse of age 27 here coming up with Jimi Hendrix dying, and then oh gosh. Anyway, crazy. Hey, Wes Cagle has joined the club. Hey, Wes
the
Cagle,
cult's
glad you're
all
here.
here.
Hey, Wes Cagle.
Yeah.
Hey, Wes Cagle.
Hey, we had Sig Vallis, and now we have you. The cult's all here. Fantastic.
Yep. And Tony without his reactor. Okay,
Oh, we're
Agent
totally
Pepsi One, you wanna take
dozing
us-
down the ruins. We're going to be building a better one. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Agent Pepsi One, you want to take us through the bad news in October all the way through December?
Yeah, let's go. 4th of October, of course, you have Janis Joplin, age 27. Once again, it's a barbiturate overdose, heroin. Now, I don't know why she was in this hotel. I don't know if she was looking for something, because I know she resided in Los Angeles to begin with. October 10th, the newly independent Fiji. Okay. God bless Fiji as the national anthem. I don't know why that's in here, but okay. Good enough.
God bless Fiji.
Yeah. October 30th, Jim Morrison of the Doors is found guilty of indecent exposure and profanity because of because of his behavior during a March 1st concert in 1969, and sentenced to 8 months of hard labor and a $500 fine. Oh, Jesus. I think that's a little much, but he, you know, he got the judge. He got the judge. All right, the 9th of November, the blues rock studio double album, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, the only album by Derek is released. Initially in the United States, the first presentation of the classic rock title, Layla, by the English guitarist Eric Clapton and the American drummer Jim Gordon. After, how do you pronounce his name? Yehudi?
Yudi Mehuin, I guess.
Yeah, he gets honorary citizenship from Switzerland. He received a letter from the United States State Department telling him that both he and his son will lose their U.S. citizenship as a result. That is correct. The United States did not recognize dual citizenship, and in many cases still doesn't today.
Yeah, he was a composer, by the way, a conductor and composer. So
okay, I mean, I didn't know who he was. On the 20th of November, the King singer Ray Davis flies to a London studio to re-record one word in the new King single for the second time in 1970. This time, he changes a lot in 8-man. I'm sorry, this is just insane. The air pollution is fucking up my life.
yeah, a flogging instead of a F word.
Yeah.
Wow, the Kinks really had a lot of problems with the censors that year, right?
They
See,
did.
all you really have to do to censor yourself nowadays is just say, you know.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and everything just was so much more heavily censored as far as just like obscenity and cursing and than it is today. No one cares about that. They just want to censor like other speech.
Here is the 11 words that you're not allowed to say on YouTube. You ready?
No. There you go. Okay. SOS, yes.
Rob's like, no, don't.
No, I knew I was gonna get him too. That was what's funny.
Yeah, November 23rd.
You saw the initial panic in his face before he
I
started.
did. He's like, oh God, no, Tony, no.
Well, it doesn't surprise me sometimes when you say stuff, Tony. I know you too well.
Okay.
All right, Agent Betsy, let's talk about November. Wait,
Yeah,
November 23rd.
November 23rd, the Electric Factory concert venue in Philadelphia closes its doors. Okay. December 8th, John Lennon conducts a lengthy and intensely candid interview with Jan Wenner of Rolling Stone magazine. He discusses his new solo album and the influence of therapy on his creation, as well as his personal traumas dating back to childhood. He also makes many revelations about his time in the Beatles, including his account of the group's breakup. And I think that was pretty poignant. I would like to read that out, that article.
It was, and I think it was televised. It was recorded, not only printed but also recorded, right?
Okay.
So I think you might want to try and look that up, see if it was recorded. Although Rolling Stone magazine, I think, has gone way down in quality since then. But
yeah, I mean, they're nothing but a political mouthpiece nowadays.
yeah.
So, I mean, okay. On the 12th of December, the Doors played the final concert with singer Jim Morrison at the Warehouse in New Orleans, Louisiana. After the concert, the Doors decide they will not play live anymore due to Morrison's unpredictable live persona, and that's, I mean, he was just, he had some legal issues before, as we've found out. So, I mean, Morrison was a pretty interesting person. I don't know if you'll know this, his father was the head of the U.S. Navy.
Mm-hmm. Didn't know that.
Yeah, the commander-in-chief of the Navy.
Oh, really? I didn't know that Morrison's, wow.
Yeah, it was Morrison's father that was that. He was a 4-star admiral. And on December 31st, Paul McCartney filed a lawsuit against the other members of the Beatles to dissolve their partnership formally, ending the band after 10 years.
Yeah. So, um,
Yeah,
it's interesting. Do you guys know anything about this?
well, I mean, I know the Beatles in their last, since they got really heavily hooked on drugs, they were basically going their own ways.
But it's more than that. So apparently, this is my understanding of it, and I could be a little bit off base. So correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding was part of the reason why Paul had to file that lawsuit was to get out of the partnership to fully dissolve it. The problem was is that the way that they had written the contract, it wasn't going to let any of them really out of it unless somebody sued and split it. That's what had to be
Oh,
done in order for them to break up, is my understanding. So
yeah, I have one more thing, and this is slightly below. It says bands that were disbanded in 1970. One of the best prog rock bands ever, called The Nice. It's
Yeah.
not well known, but they were like the pop pioneer of prog rock.
yeah, I mean,
So
the bands that broke up that year. I mean, you had the Beatles, the Nice, Simon and Garfunkel, which we'll get to later on in this top
Oh
top
yeah,
40. But the Turtles also broke up. I mean,
yeah,
Turtles broke up.
they got tired of saying "Imagine you and me and me and you." I guess they weren't happy together. I mean,
Oh God.
Oh Lord, why, dude? Just why?
Yeah.
You know what? No, let's do another take. There you go.
hey, they reformed in 1983 though, so it only lasted 13 years. So. Sorry, had to throw another bad one. in there.
There's Swift -1 going. Wow, thanks. You know who?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I may be a ghostwriter for some of those. Any other thoughts on these news articles, folks in the chat or out there in our audience? What news articles did you like? Anything else you guys want to shed light on? If you got any news from 1970 or want to shed light on any of the stories, feel free to share it in the chat. We'll pop on and bring it up as well. So we don't mind hearing other views and other news, but we do this because I think it's a good segue. Do you guys like it? Is this good breakup between the tens?
oh, I think so.
Yeah. It's good to get a context for what's going on in the year.
Oh yeah, and I love it because it lets us talk about more than just the songs here. All right, so let's get back to our countdown. We're doing 20 through 11, which I think is much better than the last set of 10, although that's not hard to beat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the next song, number 20, they sometimes credit it as one of the first rap songs. I don't know how, but they kind of do it. But it's "Spill the Wine, Get That Pearl." That's Eric Burton.
It's
and
very
the
much
Animals.
more urban R&B than it'd ever be
Yep.
rap.
Yep.
Yeah.
He joined War for this album, and I think he went on to do another couple albums. But "Spill the Wine" is number 20. Sly and the Family Stone, "Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again." And then Dawn with "Candida," which, okay, we'll talk about that. Neil Diamond with "Crackling Rosie," "Get on Board."
Mhm.
The Jackson 5 had two hits at 16 and 15 with
Back to
"Love
back,
You
yeah.
Save" and "ABC, Easy as 1, 2, 3." And then Vanity Fair had "Hitching the Ride." Bread had another great song, "Make It With You." Ray Stevens hit the charts for the first time before he really became a lyricist that kind of made fun of everybody with "Everything Is Beautiful." And then Three Dog Night closes out this top 10 with "Mama Told Me Not to Come." All right, who wants this set of 10?
I guess I'll go.
Okay, go for it.
I love Eric Burden. I love the way he sings.
Mhm.
Although in recent years he has lost his voice. He can't.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously the man is in his mid-80s now, but
Yeah.
But he just. I think this period in his life, this was not a good fit for him. And "Spill the Wine" is, I think, is a A lot of people liked it. It's just one of the things. I want to see him in the Animals. That's why I like his singing. Sly and the Family Stone. Do it for me, Don. Okay. I mean, okay. Now I'm not a big Neil Diamond fan, but he does have. If there is one thing he can do, he can sing, and that is amazing singing. Crack Rosie is. If you like that sort of music, it is beautiful. But I really have to be in the mood for it.
Ooh.
Oh, gee, this ABC. I love you saying, get rid of that crap, get rid of that Jackson 5 crap. Terrible. Jesus almighty.
Oh,
Okay,
come on. It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, right. It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. You and me. Come on.
Come on.
No, it's like 1, 2, 3, delete. 1, 2, 3, delete. You know, get your No, that, I mean, that's another one of those, I guess it's a bubblegum pop song, I think they called it.
Yeah.
I don't know, it is typical of the era, I think. I'm not sure the bread, Make It With You. I don't think I recognize that one.
What?
And
You don't know that song?
maybe I hear it.
It's painful.
Okay, I don't want to hear it then. Thank you,
No.
Heather.
Oh. Oh, wow. Wow.
Thank you for doing the hearing test for me.
It's painful.
Yeah, and then you have Ray Stevens, you know, folks, I mean, he's more like, Weird Al Yankovic in my view.
Mm-hmm.
He has
does
nothing.
become a parody writer. He does.
Yeah, he has nothing to do. Yeah, I mean, he's a decent artist, and he's very talented, but he has nothing to do with, say, top 40 music. I don't think he has anything to do with that. And that song, because my folks love that song. It's terrible, in my view. And of course, then we come to number 11, which is my favorite Three Dog Night song, Mama Told Me. That song is beautiful when he talks about opening the window, letting fresh air come in.
Yeah.
This place is filled with the smell of stale perfume.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Three Dog Night, I think, is a very much underrated band. And I think, lyrically, they are one of the best. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, that song is beautiful. To me, it never gets old. I could listen to it all the time. But yeah, I mean, that's what I have there. And I'm a little sorry about Eric Burden joining War here. It's not the same. It's simply not the same.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I mean, that's it for me.
All right.
All right. Who wants next, Heather or Tony?
Mine would be very brief.
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, Tony.
This particular 10 has me a bit separated. I'm a bit conflicted here. I like ABC and The Love You Save. I think it's funny that those two songs are back to back. But then again, Jackson 5 was on fire for at least the next 2 years. They're going to be on fire. They're going to be all over this list. I got news for you folks.
Yeah, on fire.
But the one that really does stick out, is before Ray Stevens became a satirist. Everything is Beautiful sticks out to me. I actually like that song, and I don't care who knows it. Cracklin' Rose by Neil Diamond. Obviously, you're going to see a lot better Neil Diamond tracks as we go through the decade.
Oh yeah.
But again, any mention of Neil Diamond is always a gem. And so yeah, that's literally that's how brief this is for me.
Well,
Pretty brief.
I just want to point
brief.
Yeah.
out. Just allow me to point something out while you're at it. About the Jackson 5 being on fire. One member of the Jackson 5 actually did catch fire on stage.
He did.
That was an amazing moment. The
I wasn't expecting anybody to get that, but thank you, Agent Destiny, for picking up what I was putting down.
Only one member was on fire, not the whole 5.
Yeah, just one. Just one.
Oh,
Literally.
God.
It was a
How
Pepsi
funny.
commercial too, wasn't it?
Too funny. Yeah, I mean, for me, Mama Told Me Not to Come, Three Dog Night. That's my favorite on here. To me, this is more rappy than Spill the Wine because he kind of has that
Mhm.
talky verse. It's more like a spoken word kind of sing song way of saying it. Yeah, the lyrics are awesome to this song. Actually, written by Randy Newman, who has written a few awesome songs. He actually wrote it for Eric Burdon's first solo album, and then Three Dog Night actually covered it and made it more popular. But I guess Newman was saying he assumed a character, like he assumes a character for his song, and so he just imagined being like this super straight laced kid who comes to LA and he's kind of shocked by this wild party that he's at. So I don't know. I love that song. I think the lyrics are great. Cracklin' Rose, yeah, not Neil Diamond's best by far, but I love Neil Diamond's voice. And this song, this is another funny song. Crackling Rose is not actually a woman, I guess. It's actually cheap wine, like in a really, really cheap sparkling wine. And it was an area where there was more men than women. They're all lonely, so they sit around and drink this cheap Crackling Rose. Crackling Rose
Speaking out of
wine.
experience, there, Heather, drinking that wine.
No, it's for men to drink because
Oh, okay.
Crackling Rose, lonely men. There's more men there than women. Gotta pay attention. Come on, get with me here.
Okay.
Get with the program, smack.
Get with it. Come on. And then Spill the Wine. Hopefully they didn't spill the Crackling Rose there, but that's another good one. I think it's a funny song. Kind of stream of consciousness talking. Really like that one too. At Jackson 5, I like them. I don't think those are their best 2 songs, but I do like them.
No, it's nowhere near their best music. But
The rest of this, I'm just kind of like, it just kind of meh. It doesn't really stand out. It's okay, but that make it with you, Rob. I mean, that song is cheesy. I don't know.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
That was horrible.
Tell us how you feel. Tell us how you really feel, Rob. Tell us.
That one on that was at the bottom of the list. That was bad. It's bad.
No, it's not Brad's best song at all.
Yeah. SP4H says Boone's Farm tickled pink. So now we know what you drink. Now we know what you sit around drinking during F&F.
All right.
Hitting the old Boone's Farm.
So Spill the Wine is actually based upon Eric Burton's trip to Mexico, where he may have done a little, and he also participated in a thing that we can't talk about on YouTube. Start with the really bad. So that's where that song comes from. I think it's funny, it's hilarious, but it's kind of a risque if you look into what it's about. Kind of funny though. Slide the Family Stone. I don't know that I care that much for the lyrics, but I like the funk and the bass to that song. I think it's really good.
Yes, Theta Sword, Alf Powder.
Yeah, Alf Powder. Yes. Candida. I could live without it. Not that great a song. It's okay. Crackling Rosie is a good song. Yeah, Heather stole it. That it's about wine. The Jackson 5, ABC, and The Love You Save. You know what? To be honest with you, I think I don't think these are the best 2 songs for the Jackson 5, but ABC 1, 2, 3, I think made its way into like children's using children's songs, I think that's why it hit so high because they used it for the kids. Vanity Fair, Hitching a Ride is a good song. I like that song. Actually, Brad, Make It With You. I was joking when I said.
I think ABZ actually also makes it onto Sesame Street, if I recall.
Oh, which one? ABC?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. But Brad, Make It With You is not their best song. They've got a lot of other good songs. It's just it's always on the soft rock stations. That's why I was surprised that Agent Pepsi One had not heard it before because it was played all the time.
Yeah, I might have heard
yeah.
it. I just don't recognize it, and that might be it.
Yeah, but it's real sappy. It's real sappy, isn't it, Heather?
Oh yeah.
It's like the snappiest song you'll hear. That's why I was surprised you hadn't heard it because it's sappy and it's been overplayed. But it's okay. But it's not. Bread has so many better
No,
songs.
it's not okay.
It's
Not okay.
Parts of it is okay, but it just
That's not okay.
drags. It drags on like a dirge. It just drags and drags and drags.
Okay.
Mama Told Me Not to Come by Three Dog Night is great. Everything is Beautiful by Ray Stevens actually won a Grammy, which I think is
insane.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's great. I mean, he sings it. I mean, it's
It's kind of boring.
a parody artist.
Oh,
Everything is beautiful in its own way. Now, hey, what if we brought that into today's limelight? I mean, maybe I should bring that up on Wednesday night.
You should.
Well, everything is beautiful in its own way.
Oh God.
All I can tell you is ABC.
Yeah.
ABC. Failing you is easiest 1, 2, 3. Take that from a teacher.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Crazy stuff.
God.
All right. So, anything else about this set of 10?
Nope.
All right, guys. Now we're going to get into our favorites. The best of the rest. What did not make the top 40? Who wants to go first with their set of songs that didn't make the top 40?
Oh God.
You know what to say.
I would like.
All right, Tony, go
I would
for
like
it.
first crack.
No.
I would like first
Go
crack.
ahead.
Let's just start at the very bottom with number 97, Joe South's "Walk a Mile in My Shoes." Why is it so far down? That song, every
because it was
time
the
I
beginning of a mile. I mean, come on.
yeah, but no, man, no. Every time I hear just the opening lick of this song gets stuck in my head for like a day. Absolutely, it's a crime that it's that low on the list. I Want to Take You Higher by Ike and Tina Turner. Rookie numbers here, people. Rookie numbers here. Rookie numbers. Like, if we want to go further up onto the list, The House of the Rising Sun, the original one by Frigid Pink.
Was
Two
that the original one or was
Chicago
it the
tracks.
Animals? Was that the
one,
original one or was that the Animals?
Yeah.
I think it's a
Two
cover.
Chicago
I think
tracks.
it's a cover too, yeah.
25 or 6 to 4 or Make Me Smile. Those are too low. Absolutely. Lola by the Kinks.
Yep.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
Easy come, easy go. You kidding me? No, this is what I've been seething about. It's like all of these great songs are so far down. Mississippi Queen at number 78.
Yes.
I know, Agent Pepsi's theme song. Come on.
Agent Pepsi's freaking theme song, and it's at 78.
Yeah.
But I also have to say, just to bring it on home, number 41, Long and Winding Road. How it missed by one is also a crime.
Yep.
Absolute crime.
Yep. Oh, I agree.
Mic drop.
Boom. All right, Agent Pepsi One. You want to say something besides your theme song?
Yeah, that should have been like a number 1, just because it's my theme song.
Yes, it should have.
No, but, seriously, that song belongs. Mississippi Queen belongs in the top 40. Jackson 5 don't belong in the top 500. But
Whoa! Hey, that's a hot take. Whoa!
Up! Get the fight bell, folks. Get the fight bell. We need the
Ding,
fight
ding,
bell.
ding, ding, ding.
okay,
Well, Mississippi
better.
Queen is way better than the Jackson 5. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't just like
I
Jackson
agree with that.
5, but I mean,
look at the stuff you have here. For example, one that sticks out to me is 94. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Woodstock. in my view, that is my favorite Crosby, Stills, and Nash song. I just love that song.
Ooh. I have to disagree, but I think it should be higher. Yes, it should be up there,
Yeah,
but Woodstock's not no. Okay,
yeah. I mean,
go
no.
ahead. Go ahead.
If you're a Crosby, Stills, and Nash fan, I mean, a real fan, that wouldn't be your favorite song. Hey, I understand that, but that is my favorite song by them. You know, and I think it's just the harmonies, the lyrics. This is just a beautiful song. You know, when they talk about by the time we made it to Woodstock, I mean, it just puts, you know, when I hear it, it just puts me into this feeling. I mean, I wasn't there, but you know, my mom, for example, you know, I told y'all she had tickets to Woodstock. I mean, this just puts me in this feeling, you know, the movies I've seen from the era. I mean, it's just, you know, it's like Technicolor for me. I mean, it is so great. Here, then you have Tom Jones. I mean, what a voice!
So wait a minute, hold on. Did your mom go to Woodstock?
No, she never made it because she couldn't get there. She just had tickets.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
Yeah, she was a hippie. So yeah, I mean,
Oh wow.
she was a hippie, and then her dad was a fighter pilot. So think about that crazy combination.
Wow,
Wow.
that explains a lot.
It seems-
Wow.
There you see.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff you have.
So wait a minute, Agent Pepsi One. Does that mean you've got a hippie name?
Oh no.
No.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
See?
I think we're getting into uncharted territory, folks. We might want to
Yeah, we are.
back away.
Yeah, we don't need to go into people's hippie names. So
Yeah.
What else,
yeah.
Agent
I was about to
51?
say, that's a bit radioactive. See?
See?
Let me run it over. Yeah. This is bad. This is a hot spot. No.
Yeah, I mean, then you have, you know, Creedence Clearwater Revival, CCR, Traveling Band, 89. Are you beeping kidding me?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, Boot ABC. There you go. I mean, hey, and the one that goes with this entire era is 85. The Irons of March. Vehicle. I mean, what a wonderful song.
Yep. I'll be your vehicle, baby, because I
Yeah.
love you, need you, got
Yeah.
the great God in heaven. Don't you know I love you? Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, I know,
dun.
it's really
I'm
beautiful.
gonna have to sing some of these on Thursday, since we're talking
Then
about them tonight.
No, now this one surprises me. Joe Cocker, the letter, which of course you know is which is a cover.
Yes, I like the original better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this is not from 1970. This might be one it charted, but he actually released this live in 1968.
Hmm.
Yeah, and of course you have my theme song, 78, Mississippi Queen, beautiful. Did Yet Do No Time in 1970? Are you insane? 73. I mean, who about
Yeah.
Arizona?
Wes Cagle is mentioning Cecilia by Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't pick
Absolutely.
that one, but I do agree, dude. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about 66? I mean, here's one that flips through. It is such a beautiful song, Arizona.
Hmm.
25 or 64 at number 61. Are you insane? Frigid Pink, the best cover of the House of the Rising Sun. I play this thing at night sometimes really loud. I'm surprised my neighbors don't wake up.
I like that.
Yeah. And then, of course, 54, Indiana Wants Me. I heard that today. It is Lola by the Kinks.
Hmm.
Cecilia, we just talked about. Come and get it from Badfinger.
Yep.
I mean, this is insane. Reflections of Life is a beautiful song. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. Where is it? 43. Well, I have ABC in number 3 or 4. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna cry a little bit. So,
All right, Heather, what are some of yours?
Well, this is interesting. Wes Cagle says the long and winding road, so long as it's not that re-engineered slop on the Beatles' "Let It Be Naked" album. Uh,
Exactly, exactly.
interesting
Beautiful.
because reportedly Paul McCartney hated that the production on the "Let It Be" album that Phil Spector did. He wanted it. He wanted the more stripped down version. So it's funny that you guys say that. I just find that interesting. I don't know how much he actually disliked it, or it just that's what's reported. But interesting. I don't want to repeat everything that you guys did. Obviously, all those are great. I like in the summertime, Mungo Jerry, have a drink,
Mhm.
have a drive, go out and see what you can
Oh yeah, I
find.
mean, beautiful.
Yes.
Great song. That's one of my favorite songs. I actually thought it was a 60s song, so I was so happy when I
Me
saw it
too.
on here. I didn't realize it was 1970. Love it. James Taylor, Fire and Rain, absolutely love. Just the the not the I'd say the relatability, not the drug addiction part, but the losing someone unexpectedly, which has happened to me a couple of times. Where you think you're going to see someone again, obviously, and you never know when it's going to be the last time you see someone. And that always hits me in that song. It's so sad.
Can I mention
Um,
something about that song real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that song's not about a girlfriend or anybody like that. It is actually so James Taylor suffered from drug addiction and
Hmm.
mental stuff, and he was in a mental institution for a while. Uh, James Taylor is actually one of the smartest people alive. He has an IQ that's just way high, but he had a lot of trouble with his upbringing and a lot of other stuff. So he had mental stuff and drugs going on, and it's really about this girl named Suzanne who he met in the mental institution who had died. And that's who it's about. It's not about a lover. It's about a friend from the mental institution named Suzanne.
Right.
So,
Which I don't think, it doesn't matter. I mean, the
oh
people
yeah,
who it makes me think about are two friends who
yeah.
died unexpectedly, and you remember like just getting that call. That part of that song always hits me so hard, just because you don't, it's so unexpected. So that song just always gets to me on that. I found it interesting, the Wonder of You, Elvis Presley, that Elvis is still in the charts, when the music scene has been changing so much.
Yeah.
Mississippi Queen, I love that song, and I'm kind of pissed now that it's Agent Pepsi One's theme song. So I'm gonna pick my own theme song. It's not a song that's in the charts, but it's an album that came out in 1970. The James Gang Rides Again, the fantastic Joe Walsh, and the song is
Excellent choice.
the song is Funk 49, one of the
I
most
know where you're
yeah,
going.
that's
Don't
my
you
theme
stop
song now
tonight.
because I don't want Agent Pepsi One to have the only cool theme song. So one of the most
Funk
kick-ass
49.
guitar riffs.
I saw they did it live in one of the Eagles concerts, and
Yeah,
oh my
I
gosh,
saw them
it's
do it live. They did it in Hell Freezes Over when they each
yeah.
did their own
Mhm.
little section, and I was so freaking happy when Joe Walsh busted into that riff. I was like, yes, it's that
Yep.
I love that song. So, yeah, I would say I like more the albums that were released in 1970. Right, you have Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Also, their second album was released in the same year as their first. One of the greatest hard rock albums of all time, with War Pigs, Iron Man, Paranoid, Electric Funeral, Fairies Wear Boots,
Yes.
Planet Caravan. Just awesome album. Led Zeppelin 3, which we talked about earlier. Deep Purple, Band of Gypsies. To me, like the albums that were released in 1970 are some of the
Oh
highlights.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, here's some of mine here. All right, so The Thrill Is Gone by the great BB King. Come on, that's classic.
Yeah, The Thrill Is
Yes.
Gone.
Yeah, it's
Fantastic.
Only Make Believe by Glenn Campbell's kind of a crossover country hit, which is not bad. Donnie Warwick is that you hear this all the time. I'll never fall in love again. It just needs to be mentioned just because it was very popular in different TV shows and movies. Of course, Woodstock by Crosby, Stills and Nash. Guys, Are You Ready by Pacific Gas and Electric song. That song's been played a ton. Psychedelic Shack by the Temptations. Folks, go look up Moonlighting, Psychedelic Shack. It's a cold opening for Moonlighting where David Addison, played by the great Bruce Willis, is trying to start a funk video, and he has the Temptations, and he has that song featured. And Maddie Hayes, played by Sybil Shepherd, lip syncs it. It's hilarious. That's one of the greatest versions of Psychedelic Shack you'll ever see. Look that up when you get a chance. It's hilarious. That's why I like that song. Traveling Band by Creedence Clearwater Revival, anything by them should be top 10 or should be top 40. Vehicle by Ides of March, we just mentioned. Also, that's a great song. Let's see what else is on here that we haven't mentioned. Obviously, Mississippi Queen. BJ Thomas, I Just Can't Help Believin' is another good song. BJ Thomas, who lives in Arlington, Texas, which is right down the road from me and where I grew up, so I have to mention him. Up Around the Bend, another Creedence song that should be there. You guys mentioned The Wonder View by Elvis. No Time by the Guess Who. My goodness, why is this not higher?
Beautiful
Santana.
song.
Yeah, Santana, Evil Ways.
Yeah.
Come on.
I missed
Santana,
that one.
I
missed
forgot.
that one.
Yeah,
not wrong.
Yeah, Fire and Rain by James Taylor. We've only just begun. Probably deserves to be higher, but it's overplayed by the Carpenters. United We Stand is another popular one that not that great, but it deserves mention. My Baby Loves Lovin', I thought was a 60s song by White Plains. I can't believe it's 1970. You hear it all the time at different events. Chicago has two great songs. You guys mentioned 25 or 624, but
Yes.
Make Me Smile is also a really good song.
Agreed.
I love that. Express Yourself is common, but it's okay. Another one that you mentioned Mungo Jerry Within the Summertime. I thought that was a 60s song as well. Lullaby of the Kinks should definitely be in the top 40. Cecilia by Simon and Garfunkel should definitely be there. Badfinger, Come and Get It, written by Paul McCartney. Yes, should be way up there. The other song on here, Tighter and Tighter, is a one-hit wonder by Alive and Kickin' that's popular that you'll hear on oldie stations. But this one by the Hollies definitely should have been in the top 40. This is the one that Elton John played piano on before he became Elton John. He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. Great song, beautiful song. This was after Graham Nash left the Hollies. This was before Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress, but it's a beautiful song. I don't care what you guys think. I think it's a great one. And then, of course, we mentioned The Long and Winding Road. I don't know why that's not top 40.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Song. I mean, the
great
Beatles,
song.
come on. But yeah, so
Yeah.
those are some good songs in this year.
It's the Beatles'
So-
last song, isn't it? Long and Winding Road.
Their
is
last
the
number
last-
one, yeah.
the
Winding
last-
Road.
Yeah. Yep. And I love the way that they used it. Did you guys ever see the what's the name of the movie? Yesterday? Did you guys see that movie?
The movie
I've seen
yesterday?
parts
The
of
movie
it.
yesterday?
No.
Okay,
I
so
haven't
he
seen it. No.
he basically he gets knocked out and he enters a world where the Beatles never were, and so he's writing all these Beatles songs.
Oh,
to go-
wild.
It's actually a pretty good movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Go see it if you haven't seen it. But there's one scene where he's in a songwriting contest with what's his name? The popular ginger guy. It's British.
Oh, Ed Sheeran?
Ed Sheeran. He's in a songwriting contest with him and Ed Sheeran.
God.
And Ed Sheeran writes this Penguin song, and he writes The Long and Winding Road, and blows him away.
Oh,
So,
geez.
but yeah, go check out that movie if you haven't. It's a great tribute to the Beatles. It's a decent movie. It's fine and funny, and there's a real tearjerker scene which is great that I absolutely love that I will not spoil for you, but I think it's a good movie. Anyway, guys, let's get into our top 10 and round out this 1970s. All right, so here's the top 10. Free to Pain with Band of Gold. Yeah, great song. The Beatles,
Beautiful.
Let It Be, which
Let
is
It
just
Be.
fantastic. Rare Earth with Get Ready. Jackson 5 with I'll Be There. Dinah Ross with Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Edward Starr with Whoa, huh, good God, y'all. Man, I just can't think of
Say
that
it
song
again.
without thinking of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in that movie. I mean, gosh, that's hilarious. BJ Thomas, who I mentioned, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. American Woman by the Guess Who. By the way, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head is from what movie?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Thank you. Good. American
You
Woman by the
what?
Guess Who, which was the song we mentioned wasn't allowed to be played at the White House. The Carpenters, Close to You, They Long to Be Close to You. And we rounded out with number 1, Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel. All right. Who wants first crack at the top 10? Sounds like Agent Pepsi
Go
1
ahead.
wants.
Go ahead.
I'll get the fight bell. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll take she's got some reservations. Come on.
Yeah, you will not need a fight belt for this one because I agree with most of these songs up here.
Mhm.
I agree with them. I mean, Band of Gold is absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
What a beautiful song.
Really? I thought you guys were joking when you said that was a good one.
Oh.
I'm serious.
No, I mean,
Oh.
would I put it at number 10? Probably not. But I mean, I can see it being there. Let It Be. I always thought that was earlier in the Beatles. I always thought it was like 1966 or something. But yeah, I mean that is a colossal hit. Get Ready by Rare Earth. It's not so my thing. Another one of that damn breathe, Sasha, breathe. My blood pressure is like 3,000 over 800. The Jackson 5 again. You gotta be keeping me.
Oh, God.
So, Agent Pepsi 1, I take it you don't want a Jackson 5 greatest hits for your birthday or Christmas, right?
No, hell no. Thank you, but no. You know, this song belongs like a number 390. You know, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I mean, that is a beautiful song. Edwin Starr, I mean, it's a song of the era. I mean, it fits perfectly. BJ Thomas, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. I mean, beautiful. American Woman. Oh my God, my first husband, when we split, he kind of sang that song to me.
Did you sing No Sugar Tonight back to him?
Right? No sugar tonight.
No, but he kind of told me he doesn't want to hear me knocking on his door.
Oh, God.
Here are the Carpenters. I'm not a big Carpenters fan, but
Me either.
but I mean, this is a nice song. But number 2,
I don't know. When a certain squid sings it, it may drive the ladies crazy. But that's for another.
Yeah, but, you know, in number 1, in number 1, you have Simon and Garfunkel. No, you know, Bridge Over Troubled Water belongs certainly in the top 10. I'm not sure it belongs to number 1, but it belongs in the top 10. Now, if it were up to me, number 1 song from 1970 would be Frigid Pink, House of the Rising Sun. It is absolutely amazing, but I mean, I can see where most of these songs come from. The only one that I really cannot justify up there in the top 10 is the Jackson 5. And that's only because of my personal dislike of the Jackson 5. But were they popular? Yes, they were popular. Did they get a lot of airplay? I do believe so. Yeah, I mean, I think they were hyped. I think they were really hyped.
I was gonna say I don't know if Agent Pepsi 1 likes any of the Jacksons stuff.
I don't. You know, okay, I mean that's not true. That's not true. I actually have the Thriller album. I have it on CD, and it's not bad, with the exception of the title track. But everything else you can forget.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Oh, funny.
Okay. All right, Tony, you want your crack at this, and then we'll let Heather bash on some songs.
Oh, is it? So Heather has the fight bell. Got it.
She does.
Let's see. Bridge Over Troubled Water is an amazing song from beginning to end, as is American Woman. I love War as well, simply because anytime that I'm playing 40K or something and I'm rolling out the tanks, that's a good song to be bumping while I'm blowing crap up. As Sigvaldison has been following my Warhammer 40K series, he can attest to that. Let It Be by the Beatles. Again, it's better than The Long and Lonesome Road, but only just. Again, it's like comparing apples to apple juice. I still think they both should have been in the top 40 for this.
So, Tony, real quick, I want to stop you there real quick. Which is easier to play, and can you play both of them?
I've never played a Beatles song, but I'm pretty sure that I could learn. They're both pretty simple and slow versus my usual upright rag times that I like to do. I'm sure that if I were to find the sheet music, I could probably learn either one of those in no time.
I have it. So, I think I have.
No, I never tackled any Beatles piano. Remember, I play piano. The whole reason why I don't like playing slower songs is because it's my psychological crutch to having my knuckles beat to death with a yardstick. So no. But I'm sure that I could probably learn those in no time. Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Overplayed, played everywhere. But I like that. So it's a good top 10. It's a good top 10. And now Heather L can roll up her sleeves and start punching. Here we go.
Well, I love Let It Be. Let It Be is phenomenal. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, I think, is a great song too. I love the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid scene. Really cool. American Woman, Guess Who? I love that guitar riff. That song absolutely rocks out. They say it's not political. It's been interpreted that way. They have great lyric writers, though, and No Sugar Tonight is also a hilarious song. Love it. Bridge Over Troubled Water, I really like that, too. I mean, I love Paul Simon's lyrics. Bridge Over Troubled Water is not my favorite Simon and Garfunkel song, but it's definitely like it. Really good. I'll Be There, the Jackson 5. I think that's one of their better songs. War, Edwin Starr, I really like that too, even though that one's kind of gotten too much play too. The Carpenters are just not my cup of tea at all, and that song is like so just sugar on top of cheese. I mean,
notice I didn't mention that song, so I ain't got to ring the fight bell yet.
You need to gargle with the Funk 49 to get that taste out of your mouth, because that is.
That's worth it. That's worth the fight bell. There you go.
So you didn't even like it on Friday when Harvey sang it, right?
Well, I love Harvey's take on it because he kind of makes it nasty. So that's always good. I appreciate that. But the Carpenters just don't do anything for me.
I hate being surrounded by so many cultists. Harvey this, Harvey that. Harvey hit me with a wiffle ball bat.
Yeah. I mean, Get Ready and Ain't No Mountain High Enough. They're okay songs. I don't dislike them. I just don't think they belong in the top 10. They're nowhere near as good as a lot of the songs on this list. And then, I'm sorry, Rob, that Band of Gold. I mean, I don't think I'd ever heard it before I listened to it for this show, but that's because, like, if that song came on the radio, I would not be able to change the station fast enough. Like, that's one of those. What's that? Get it out of there.
Oh, wow.
It's I don't know. I couldn't take it. It was yeah. I don't know. Too cheesy. Way too cheesy.
You know what? Wow. That's worth another fight bell. Well done. You got two. You got two.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not an Agent Pepsi 1 level of fight bell spam, but you're getting there. No, you're getting there.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I have to support Heather. Women form support groups, so I support Heather.
Okay.
I gotta tell you, you know, mm, she might be right on a lot of this stuff, but Band of Gold is a song of the era, and it has that typical early '70s sound. So, Heather, I'm sorry, that's as much support I can give you.
It's of the time, but I don't
Ah,
think
there you
it
go.
holds up. It's not.
Yeah,
I just was like, oh God,
we are in agreement. We are in
on
agreement.
purpose, like, ugh.
All right. So let me give my say on this top 10. I like Band of Gold. It's recorded by various artists. I don't know if I like her version as much, but basically it's a breakup song, and they break up on their freaking honeymoon, which is sad, terrible.
Well, turn that.
So it's sad, but it's got a melancholy tune to it, and I always like the chorus. I love Let It Be. Stark, definitely fine. The music, it's not that hard to play. I can actually fiddle around with it and make it sound halfway decent. I'm not even that well trained on piano like you are, but Let It Be is one of the best Beatles songs out there. It should be higher than number 9. Get Ready by Rare Earth is okay. It's overplayed. I'll Be There by the Jackson 5. Not my favorite Jackson 5 song, but I think it's a good song. I think it's better than ABC 1, 2, 3.
Agreed.
So I like it. Ain't No Man High Enough is a good song, but yeah, it's overplayed. War is a fantastic song. I love it. I love it in Rush Hour. It always reminds me of Rush Hour now because of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. It just cracks me up to think of them going back and forth with it. Don't ever touch a black man's radio. And that's not how you sing War. So I always think of that when I think of this song, which is why I love pop culture and I love these songs being in pop culture. Okay, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Yes, I love the scene in Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Great song. American Woman. So American Woman, the interesting thing about this song was improvised on stage during a concert in Southern Ontario. The Guess Who guitarist Randy
What?
Bachman recalled being at a concert, and although Burton Cummings, the lead singer, said it was Broom and Stone, curling rink at Scarborough, Bachman was playing notes while tuning his guitar and replacing a broken string. He realized he was playing a new riff and he wanted to remember it. He continued playing it, and the other band members returned to the stage and joined in, creating a jam session in which Cummings improvised the lyrics. They noticed a kid with a cassette recorder making a bootleg recording. Cassette recorders were brand new at the time, and asked him for the tape. They listened to the tape and noted down the words that Cummings had sung, which he later revised, and it became American Woman out of a jam session at a concert.
Yeah,
How cool is that?
that's really cool.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not really about all the bad things that they say. It is. Okay. I have to agree with Heather L. on the Carpenters. All their songs are cheesy, sappy, lovey-dovey songs. But I will say the best placement of this song in a movie is one of my favorite football movies, The Best of Times, with Kurt Russell and Robin Williams, where Kurt Russell's trying to win his wife back, and he sings this at the door. It's hilarious. Go watch that scene. I think it's great. So Bridge Over Troubled Water is interesting. Bridge Over Troubled Water is written by Paul Simon. Paul Simon was originally supposed to sing it, and he decided, no, I'm going to let Garfunkel sing it. I don't know if I can really convey what I just wrote. And he regretted it. To this day, I think he still regrets it because, Art Garfunkel, it's not my favorite Simon & Garfunkel song by far, but you got to admit, his pipes are amazing on this.
Yeah.
The range that he hits is just phenomenal. So it hit and won all these awards. That's why it's number 1. I don't think it's the number 1 song of 1970 by far, but it's a good song, and Art Garfunkel deserves full credit for it. Paul Simon deserves credit for writing it, but I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful song. This 10 is good. I think Let It Be should be much higher.
Yes,
American Woman should probably be.
It should be top 3. Let It Be should be top 3.
Let It Be should be top 3. American Woman, for me, is probably the best song on here, just because I just think it's It's just a solid rocking song that I can listen to all the time. But anyway, this is our songs of 1970. Any other thoughts on this top 10 or the rest of the 40? Go ahead.
I would like to say something. Stuff you talked about, the Guess Who was actually a Canadian band.
Yes, they were.
So, I mean, I kind of find it odd that they would sing American Woman and not like Canadian Woman. So, I mean,
well, what sounds better, American Woman or Canadian Woman?
Well, he
I
liked
mean,
he liked Canadian women though. He was saying, the American women, telling them to stay away. He preferred the Canadian women.
yeah, like I said, that's what my first husband told me to stay away. Don't knock on my door. Okay.
Oh God.
And the second thing is with Karen Carpenter. Did you know that she auditioned with Kenny Rogers in the first edition? That lady that they hired originally, her name escapes me, but she auditioned for that position and she was told she can't sing.
Yeah. By the way, Wes Cagle gave it away. I was about to ask you what instrument Karen Carpenter played.
She beat Keith Moon for Best Drummer in 1975.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You got wait.
Well, Karen Carpenter didn't run over anyone, so there's that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
now
true.
wait a minute. Wait. What? What? With Cagle, sweetie, are you like on Well, have you invited?
It's true though. He points it out.
You gotta be kidding! No, that can't be right. Come on now, that
It
can't
is.
be right.
It is. Go look it up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, funny.
Okay.
Crazy stuff. I mean, for my money, Animal from the Muppets is one of the. No, I'm just kidding. But
He's a better drummer than Karen Carpenter.
Anyway.
God.
Sig Balderson. Here we go. I gotta put this. Canadian woman, stay away from me. Canadian woman, Canadian woman, stay away from me, Canadian woman. Yeah, I would say Neil Peart is probably one of the greatest drummers of all time. I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely, Neil Peart.
That's good for
Animal
it
is
says,
great,
don't diss animal. Animal.
Yeah.
Animal.
So, anyway, all right. Anything else before we get to our final goodbyes and plugs for the 70s? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and plug away. Let's start with Tony. What have you got?
Why do you always put me on the spot
channel?
when you know I don't have anything prepped? Give me a second.
But you're the one with all the stuff going on, man. You're like the master streamer, streaming every night.
Nah.
Yeah, you just reached 1,500. I mean, gosh, guys, go watch the celebration.
Well, give me a second. The song that I'm about to play will not ding you on YouTube, I promise.
Are you tired of the same humdrum day-to-day kind of content that you find here on the tubes of the U? Are you wanting something a little bit more various in the series of variety shows that we have a variety of? Including, but not exclusive to the following. We have game shows on Monday, not besides this Monday. We have variety shows on Thursdays. We have karaoke's every other Wednesday. We have movie nights for our channel members on every other Wednesday night. We have a newscast covering pop culture topics at a weekly review called the Startcast every Saturday night. So beyond that, there is also some gaming videos that are now being released regularly on the Stock of Iron channel. Join us as we are having a celebration at 1,500 subscribers tomorrow night from 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 2 question marks. That's right, we bring back the long-form party stream. Once again, proviso, unfortunately, for a limited time because our next Star Party will not happen until we reach 2,000 subscribers or it is the 4th of July weekend. Thank you for everything that you do for us, Rob Wright. Thank you for bringing us this wonderful content, and thank you for having me as one of your esteemed panelists right here once a Sunday. We will be discussing what we're going to be doing for our metal show, Hangar 18, on an upcoming Sunday very shortly. And as always, stay tuned to all of these fine folks here, and be sure to check out Dick the Man Doomcock, the future ruler of this planet Earth. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Every Friday night and Wednesday night for your pop culture news there, as well as the best variety show in YouTube and inside the Hollow Earth. You do not want to miss it, ladies and gentlemen. This advertisement was brought to you by the fine folks at Grey Tortoise Cigarettes, the New Coca-Cola Corporation, and of course, Iodine Toothpaste, because if you're going to ruin your smile with the first two products, bring her on home with a tube of unmitigated bleach and fluoride. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. Appreciate the plugs. Alistair as well. Agent Pepsi One, what have you got going on?
Yeah, not that much because we're finishing up the school year, so I am super busy right now. State testing is about to start, so oh my God, it's just crazy. But I am continuing to work on my YouTube channel. Yeah, they're just let's just say YouTube is a little kind of weird. So
They are.
that is all I'm doing. I'm just biding my time for the summer. And again, Rob, thank you for having me. It's been fun. I loved it. And Tony and Heather, thank you as well for the good humor.
I do try.
Yeah. Heather, you're not a YouTuber, but you're a wrench. What's going on?
That's right. I am a wrench.
One
and
of the strongest wrenches on his team.
Thank you to everyone here in the chat for coming and hanging out. It's always such a blast seeing everyone show up here in the chat and getting your comments. It makes it so much more fun than when we're just talking at each other. So not that I don't love these guys, but it's so great to have all of you. It's so great to have all the chat here too. So yes, and I'm a wrench on Overlord DVD's channel. Come see Pop Culture Breakdown on Wednesday night, where the movie is You Only Live Twice, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be fun this Wednesday. And, of course, always see all of you in the chat at Friday Night Frolic.
Yep.
Thank you, Heather L. Okay, so for my channel, coming up, not next weekend, because next weekend is Easter Sunday, and some of us here celebrate that, so we're not going to have any YouTube content on my channel next weekend. But in 2 weeks, we're going to do Band of Brothers Episode 8, The Last Patrol. So we're getting close to the end of Band of Brothers, and Heather L. and I are deciding on what series we're going to do next. It probably will be the Pacific, but we'll let you know. This is right before my trip to Europe, so that's part of the reason why we're doing Band of Brothers, because I'm going to visit all the sites. So I'm also on Dukak's channel. Pop Culture Breakdown is on Wednesday. Guys, this Doctor Who episode is really, really bad. Overlord DVD is
I
good.
miss hanging out with the cool kids.
So stay tuned to Doomcock. He's going to put a video out on it. He mentioned something on Twitter. I already saw it. Oh, my gosh. We'll talk about that. But besides Shooty Gatwa and the awful Doctor Who and probably another awful episode of Daredevil, we do have You Only Live Twice to look forward to. It's a great movie. I'm still getting the slides for it, so that's what I'm going to do right after this. And then Friday Night Frolic said Doomcock's channel is another place that we all hang out on and have a lot of fun. It's a great way to start the weekend, and Doomcock just is a great host, and we have a lot of fun in the chat. That's where we all met, and come join that community. If you like my community, join my community. Guys, like, subscribe, share the stream. Please leave comments after the video. This is how it gets noticed by YouTube, and they actually will play it for other people.
Here's a neat notion, guys. Pay attention. I want to hear things coming like this for our good friend Rob Wright. Okay, so the way that's going to happen, the way that we're going to get him monetized, is if you watch his stuff and share it out.
Yes, please do that.
I want to be able to send him a super chat sometime this century.
Yeah, we'll see. And then, folks, I will spill the beans on this. The day that I get monetized, when I'm monetized, we will have a show spectacular where we will go over Episode 4, New Hope, Star Wars, where we discuss the movie, but also what was it like when you first saw it. So stay tuned for that whenever I get monetized. I'm still 2,000 watch hours away. So.
Oh, my. Those are rookie numbers. We got to pump those numbers up. Pump those numbers up.
And thank you to everybody who's here. Thank you to those who are watching the replay. Anything else you guys want to mention or talk about?
Theta Theater, starting at 10 o'clock.
Yes,
My
in
time,
about
9
6
o'clock.
minutes.
Right after.
Right after, go
you guys
see
still want some
Theta
YouTube
Zord.
entertainment.
Yes.
Alistar will be hanging out over there, as well as a mystery guest for when we discuss the 1950s version of 1984.
Ooh, interesting. 1950s, 1984.
Yeah.
Huh, I feel like I'm traveling somewhere between time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please go to Theta Zord's channel. Let's do a raid on his channel. He's a great guy. He's part of our community, and I think we should definitely support him.
He's my number one. I'm teaching
Yes.
him everything I know.
Yep.
And so is Sean
All right.
Carter. Sean Carter's teaching him.
So,
everything he knows.
also, folks, at this time that we're recording, we're coming up on it's Palm Sunday, coming up on Easter. So, those celebrating Passover of the Jewish faith, happy Passover. Those celebrating Easter for those of the Christian faith, happy Easter. I understand. I think it's Ramadan for anybody who's Muslim. Just want to acknowledge all the different religions and all the different faiths here. We love all of you, and we're thankful for you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good
Night.
night. Bye.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.
See y'all.
See ya.